We're walking with weights today. You guys, this one's perfect for women of a certain age. There's no jumping, no transitions to the ground, but I do have a nice warm up and a cool down. Grab your light weights and let's go. Hey Killer Bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving with some arm circles and high knees. Now you want to make sure, of course, that your weights are completely out of the way for this. I apologize for not saying that first. But during the warm-up, we do not need to have anything in our hands just yet. Trust me, we've got plenty of that coming. You guys, welcome to the workout. I am Paula B., your best middle-aged fitness friend, and around here, we are all about making peace with your menopausal body. And one of the best ways to do that is with a super sweaty workout like I have for us today. You guys, I am going to be demonstrating today as a push day, which is perfect if you are content with your weight and looking to shape your body. And if you're not exactly sure what your goal is for each workout, make sure that you open up the description box below and download my 5-page information resource that talks all about how to make any workout work for you. Now here's the thing, as mentioned, I'm going to be demonstrating today as a push day, which depending on your goal might be way too much for you. But this is a very modifiable workout. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. You can absolutely take today at whatever pace works for you. And that's what I'm going to suggest that you work on. If today is a push day, I honestly don't recommend that you use heavier weights than something that feels nice and light for you. Because honestly, the heavier you go with your weights, the more risk you run for injury. Rather, today we're going to be pushing by pushing our pace. And that means, oh my gosh, that means that I've got some sweat for us. Now, no matter what pace you are taking today, it is fast-paced and super, super fun. I've got a repeating no repeat, but it repeats more than a normal no repeat. I've got a good long list here of exercises for us that we are going to go back and forth between the low impact cardio exercises and walking. Our walking, however, is very brief. It is only a little bit of a rest from the rest of what we are doing. I've got the handy dandy gym boss set for intervals of 20 seconds and 10 seconds, and none of those is rest. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes. Welcome, by the way, to Blossom and Rosie's home. I've got like almost the whole menagerie out here taking a nap today. Agatha is actually in the other room. I don't know if you can exactly see her. She's on camera, but she's basically like as dark as the couch in the other room, and so I don't know if you can see her when she's tucked in the corner taking her nap. But all three of the girls, all four of us girls here on camera today. Oh, and that was all for Blossom. She got shy. You guys, this one's going to be fun. We're actually starting with a low impact cardio exercise. We're going to get started with triceps curldowns here in just a couple of seconds. I'm going to make sure that I have completely opened up my chest and my abs before we get going, because we're going to grab those weights, and as mentioned, there's absolutely no rest. So whether today is a push day or a moderate day for you, just make sure that you are going at a pace that you can sustain for the entire workout. That sounded so ominous, didn't it, you guys? Let's grab our weights and get moving. Now here's the deal with triceps curl downs. We're going to curl down while we tap out on that same side. This is nice and quick. It is cardio toning today. So when it beeps again, and it will, like really soon, that's the thing. When it beeps again, we're going to go right into a walking motion. That is, for all intents and purposes, the rest that we're getting today, so feel free, even if today is a push day, to take the walking parts at a little bit down. Now, we are repeating, as mentioned. We're actually going to do each of these exercises 4 times for the 20 seconds. So when it beeps again, we're coming right back to that triceps curl down. Nice job. We're starting with the weights right here at our chest, curling them down, already feeling that work in my arms. And this is the magic of what I was saying about not going with your heavier weights, because truly, even your lightest weights are gonna get heavy while we are working. Here's our 10 seconds of walking. That was 2 times done. This is gonna be tricky for me today. I have to keep track of approximately how many times we're doing each exercise. Here we are with the triceps curl downs. This is our 3rd time. As mentioned, it is a repeating no repeat, which means you're gonna get a little bit tired of the exercise while we're doing it, but we're not coming back to it after this. So we're getting really good work during these 4 intervals and then right back to walking. It's essentially a modified Tabata kind of workout. These are Tabata intervals, the 20 and 10, but we're making it our own today. Here's our fourth interval of the triceps curl downs. This is the last time that we have to do this exercise today. When it beeps again, of course, we're going back to walking, but then after that very brief 10-second interval, we're going to be doing half jacks, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a half of a jumping jack at a time. So here we are walking. Hands are going to start down at your sides. We're going to do the right half of a jumping jack without jumping, of course, and then the left half. So it's one half of your body at a time. Whew, doggies. And this one I can already feel. I'm taking this at a pace that is definitely a push pace for me, and even with these light weights, I'm feeling the work. That is the trick about a push workout. Even with, here we go, with 10 seconds of walking, not quite rest. When it beeps again, of course, we're doing those half jacks again. A push workout is gonna feel like a push. That's literally the point. Here we are with our half jacks. And it doesn't have to be like the hardest you've ever pushed ever. Every day has something new and wonderful and magical to bring you at this age. I'm sure you've noticed. Your push today might feel different than your push next week or your push in a couple of weeks, right back to walking. Whatever you have to bring to the table today, that's what we're pushing with. Sometimes, here we go with our half jacks, third time, sometimes that's gonna be like a crazy push day. Sometimes that's gonna be just a half a step above moderate. Honestly, no matter what you're doing with the workout, make sure that you sustain it the whole time. If you have decided that today is a push day, here we go with our walking. Next time is the last time, it's our fourth and final time with those half jacks. If you've decided that you're pushing, push the entire workout. If you've decided, here we go with those half jacks, that today is moderate, stay moderate. I cannot stress this to you enough. Whatever you decide, stick with it. And really, I mean, that's just good life advice. Again, we've got 10 seconds of walking, and then we're moving into toy soldiers. Whew, that's gonna have both hands up overhead. We're reaching our opposite hand down towards our opposite kicking foot. Really gonna feel this work in your shoulders. Really gonna feel this work, whoo, in your heart and lungs. Anytime we have our hands up overhead, that is how we're getting our heart rate up, up, up. So again, we're taking this at a pace that feels like whatever you decided on today. I've already noticed that today's push pace isn't quite as fast for me, here we go with walking, as it sometimes is. I feel my heart rate going through the roof though. So please bear in mind, here we go with those toy soldiers, second time, that your push pace might look different from mine. Today's push pace might actually be moderate for you. It might be way too much of a push for you. You should always monitor your own body to make the workout work for you. Whatever you're trying to get out of it, and at whatever pace works best. Here we are with our walking. You are doing such a good job with this. These are fast transitions. I know you've noticed it. Here's our third time with those toy soldiers. Core is pulled in super tight. Now here's why I recommend that you make today a push day by changing your pace rather than having heavy dumbbells, or even heavier than this. Doesn't matter if they're heavy or just heavier. When it beeps, of course, we're doing walking. Whew. Yeah, that 20 seconds felt like a long time. When we are moving quickly with any kind of weights, especially when they go up overhead, and here we go, fourth and final time for these toy soldiers. Anytime we have our hands up overhead with something heavy in them, you run the risk of not pulling in your core quite enough, injuring your lower back, bringing on aches and pains of all kinds of nature. I mean, there's all kinds of different injuries that we could accidentally sustain. Here's 10 seconds of rest, and then we're going into can-cans. That's one knee and one kick with one side, and then one knee and one kick with the other. While we're kneeing and kicking, there's a little bit of a punching action going on. So knee and kick, knee and kick. Now you don't have to move your hands a lot for this. Sometimes when we're just doing cardio, but when we're doing unweighted cardio, I don't really move my hands very much. Since today is a push day for me, right back to walking. I'm taking every opportunity to do that little bit, that something extra that's really making today a push. So can-cans for 20 seconds. Because I have committed to pushing, I'm going to push in whatever way I can. Again, not heavier weights though, because I know where the limit of my core strength is. I've also done these walking with weights workouts before. Here we go back to walking many times, and I know exactly how heavy these light dumbbells get when it beeps again. Going back to those can-cans, knee and kick. This is our third time with them. I love this particular exercise on a walking with weights day because my hands don't go up over my head. So this one, you can move a little bit faster. It always depends on the exercise and what you have to bring to it. Right back to walking. Coming up next is our fourth and final time with those can-cans. And then we're putting our hands over our head again. I tried really hard. Here we go with can-cans. I actually legitimately tried hard to think about where our hands were going to be for each of today's exercises and kind of go back and forth between hands up overhead and hands down a little bit lower, because I, of course, want us to tone and sculpt our shoulders. Here we go with walking, and coming up next is push, push, crunch. So we're going to push and push to the side, and then hands swoop up overhead while we come up into an oblique crunch. Push, push, and crunch. Push, push. Oh, on a push day and crunch. Oh my goodness. I knew what this was going to feel like, and that's why I tried really hard not to stack the odds against me. When in doubt, you want to push, or walk, as in the case here. Let me go ahead and scoot over to the side so that we're ready for round 2 on this one. You want to push in a way that feels best. Push and crunch. You do not ever, even on a push day, want to push yourself so far, so hard, so much that you injure yourself or can't move tomorrow. And that's really something that takes some effort to figure out where that is. Here we are with our walking. Awesome job. I cannot tell you how many times I have done a workout that felt perfectly lovely while I was doing it. Here we go. Push, push, crunch for the third time. Push, push, and crunch. And then the next day, I felt it everywhere in all kinds of muscles I didn't even know I had, in all kinds of ways that felt absolutely miserable. And it makes it really, really hard to do anything the next day or next couple of days. Back to walking, and then coming up next is our fourth and final time with those push, push, crunch. I never want you to feel like you can't move the next day. Push, push, and crunch. A push day is intended to help your body make adaptations. It's never intended to injure you or make you feel like you can't do something. Now, the day after today would be a fantastic day for active rest. Here's 10 seconds of walking, and then we're doing disco dancers. And yes, that is a little bit of hands overhead, but it's one at a time. We're reaching up and out with one hand while its opposite foot is kicking out the other way. Nice job. I've even got my little John Travolta fingers going with the weights in my hands. This pace is a little bit different because of the coordination and because of that hand overhead. When we've got hands overhead, you notice the spike in your heart rate. Here's our walking interval. I might even tone it down a little bit on this walking interval because my heart rate is going crazy. Here we go with disco dancers. Second time. Awesome job. Feeling that work. Feeling today's push. You are doing such a good job with this, and making sure that you're staying wherever you need to be. Back to walking. If today is a moderate day for you, you might find yourself at some point dropping the weights. And here we go with disco dancers. Third time, doing so good. Oh my gosh. Feeling that work, feeling that kick, feeling my shoulders. Awesome. If the work gets to be too much for even a moderate day, then feel free to drop the weights. This is a perfect, here we go, walking. This is a perfect cardio day, whether you've got weights or not. Coming up next is our fourth and final time. And I'll be honest, I almost think that I counted wrong. I probably shouldn't point this out to you. I kind of think that this might be even the fifth time we've done this. I don't know for sure. It is definitely the last time we're doing this, no matter what. Even if this is 3, except that I know it's more than 3. When it beeps again, we've got 10 seconds to walk, and then we get to keep our hands a little bit lower. Thank goodness. We're going to middle skips. It's exactly like skipping, except that there's no jumping. So we're swinging our hands merrily while bringing up one knee at a time. The other hand, however, gets to stay low. It's almost like a biceps curl, truly, here in the middle. Sometimes, when I don't have weights in my hands, I will get my hands moving really high. Not today. Today, this still feels like a push, I gotta be honest. My hands have been up, my shoulders are feeling the burn, my heart rate has gone crazy. We're right back to walking. This is the trick with any workout. No matter how great you feel when you start, at some point in time, here we go with middle skips, at some point in time, right about now, right about halfway, somewhere between halfway and 2/3 of the way, you're going to regret that you decided that today was a push day. I'm regretting it right now. I'm wishing that today was a moderate day, but I'm going to continue to push in ways that I can push so that, here we go, back to walking. That was 2 times. I'm going to say it out loud this time so I don't accidentally do an extra one. I'm going to make sure that I keep my promise to myself. Here we go with middle skips, 3rd time, because otherwise, if you start off pushing and you end up kind of moderating, kind of petering out, kind of not feeling amazing, you're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel like, well, I guess I have to push tomorrow. And then you're going to accidentally kind of push. Here we go back to walking. Next time is our 4th time. You're going to accidentally push too much, weirdly, over the course of a week because you never quite finish pushing one workout. So today, if today is your push day, let's push the whole time. This is the 4th time with these middle skips. Next up is ding dongs. We get to keep our hands a little bit low again. That's funny that I did 2 in a row like that. I think I knew what the push, push, crunch, and disco dancers was gonna feel like. Ding dongs, here's 10 seconds of walking. Ding dongs, we're gonna kick out to one side and we're swinging our hands low, but big. So they're going low rather than over our head. It's a side kick, woo, with a big swing in your hands. Be very careful that the dumbbell that is closest to your face does not actually punch you in the face because it looks in my peripheral vision here like it's getting kind of close. You guys, this is a big swing. This is one of my favorite exercises on a push day because you can get a lot of momentum. 10 seconds of walking. You can get a lot of momentum and a lot of like high heart rate without too much hands over your head work. So here we go with ding dongs for the 2nd time. That swinging feels so good and so fun. And this, I can really pick up the pace. This one, I can go a little faster because the effort is coming somewhat from momentum. When in doubt, let your body swing with you rather than against you. Here we are walking again. What a good job you are doing. We are definitely about 2/3 of the way done. We're definitely well over half. So, oopsies, forgot what I was doing here. We're doing ding dongs, 3rd time, but we are right at that point where your heart rate might be feeling like, oh my goodness, I don't know how much more I can do this. We don't have a lot more, and that is the mental challenge of a push day, is reminding yourself, here we go back to walking. Next up is our 4th and final time with those ding dongs. Reminding yourself that you are capable of anything, that you can indeed push this entire time. Because when you do, you're going to feel amazing for one thing, but also you're going to create some adaptations in your body and your mind. When your mind realizes what you can do, my friend, you'll realize how much more you can do when it beeps again. We've got 10 seconds of walking, and then here comes kick jacks. Kick jacks, yes, hands up overhead. Hands are doing jumping jacks, feet are doing kicking. It's a half and half kind of an exercise. There's of course no jumping. Hands up, we're kicking while you're swinging your hands. Yes, Here's some of that momentum I was talking about. Real easy to bring your hands down, real hard to bring them back up. Doing such a good job. This kick isn't really meant to be hurting anybody because at this point, I'm focusing on pulling in my core and controlling my hands. You guys, we're walking right now. Yeah, this is where the rubber is starting to meet the road. Do you notice it? Yes. Some of the exercises that I have for us here at the end of this workout, because we've only got a couple more, are really going to challenge you mentally and physically. This is where we talk to ourselves about what we've done before, what we've lived through before, what we will live through again in the future, and what we are capable of. That's 2 times with our kick jacks. We have 2 more. You have done harder workouts than this. You will, in your future, 3rd time with kick jacks, you will, in your future, do something harder than this, whether it's a workout or something else in your life. This kind of work prepares you mentally and physically to be stronger than you were before we started. Excellent job. 10 seconds of walking. And then coming up next is our 4th and final time with those kick jacks. And then we move on to something else that I will tell you about now. You guys, coming up next, we are doing wide open side kicks. There's no hands up overhead, but there's also no real resting position. It is definitely going to challenge your arms and shoulders and your resolve. Oh my gosh, 10 seconds of walking. Wide open side kicks. We start with our hands at our chest. Elbows are up high and out wide the entire time. We open up our hands while we kick one side and then the other side. Again, you can move kind of fast on the kicking, and you can move kind of fast because your hands aren't overhead. Oh, but the burning sensation in your shoulders and chest from this entire workout. If you are moderating today, my friend, moderate. This got tough. Hands down, no matter what kind of a pace you are taking it at today, no matter what your day holds. This is not easy. And here we go, 2nd time. Gonna pay attention to counting. Wide open side kicks, big kick, wide open hands, opening your heart to this experience because it is a tough one, but you are tougher. This is something that you can do. You can manage. That was 2 times done. Oh, when it beeps again, here's our 10 seconds of walking. When it beeps again, it'll be our 3rd interval. And our 3rd interval is almost our last one. Sometimes I have to play games like that with myself when I'm going through something where we do, honestly, kind of one more interval than I really want to with any of these exercises. I don't mean that because I'm counting wrong. I mean because the 4th one is really tough. 10 seconds of walking. But we're doing it. We're managing this. We're getting through it. When it beeps again, 4th and final time with these wide open side kicks. Boom. We have almost lived through it. And I tell you what, we do not have very many more exercises. You are pushing beautifully, and you can continue to push a little bit longer. When it beeps again, we get 10 seconds of walking, and then we get to move on. One of my favorite exercises, honestly, maybe not late in the workout like this, but one of my favorite exercises. It's forward hinge arm flappers. Our hands are going to be up overhead, and they're going to flap like we're doing jumping jacks. Whew, but our feet get to stay still. So we're hinging forward by pushing our hips back, back, back. The great news about this one is if your glutes are pretty strong like mine are, the standing up motion really, really swings your arms with momentum up overhead. It's not quite as much work, 10 seconds of rest. So it does feel a little bit more like cardio than like strength. At this point though, I think everything kind of feels like strength. Here we go with those forward hinge arm flappers. Really thinking about driving this motion with your booty. Because my friend, even though you don't have weights on your feet, I guess, on your lower body, there is plenty of toning to be had for your lower body with today's workout. This is 2 times done with those forward hinge arm flappers, which means we only have 2 more. We are continuing to pushing the pace with our walking, pushing the pace with our other exercises, and boom, up we go. I feel I'm smacking these dumbbells together because I'm really worried about accidentally smacking my hands together. One time, a long time ago, like a super old video, I know it was a seated video, but I couldn't tell you anything more about it than that. I smacked my fingers so hard, we're walking again, smacked my fingers so hard on forward hinge arm flappers that I almost had to stop the video. I didn't, but I really wanted to. Here we go, 4th and final time. Whew, 20 more seconds of this. And then you guys, the next exercise is our last little set of 4. You are doing such a good job. When it beeps again, we're going to get 10 seconds of walking, not rest. Whew, doggies. And then we're doing letter K's. Yes, it's our final exercise. Both hands are up. We're reaching one hand out to the side while that same foot kicks out to the side. On one side, it's the letter K. On the other side, it is not. On both sides, it is a lot of work for your shoulders, for your abs, for your heart and lungs. Oh my gosh, you are doing such a good job making your way through this tough workout. 10 seconds of not resting at all, but walking, because this is a walking with weights workout. You guys, when it beeps again, letter K's. Here we go. Here we go, my friends. This is round 2 of 4. You are rocking this exercise. You are rocking everything about this workout. Staying strong to yourself, to your commitment, to whatever kind of a workout this is. 10 seconds of walking. Because honestly, even if you're moderate today, you have to stay moderate the whole time. Maybe you got 2/3 of the way through. Here we go with our 3rd of 4. Maybe you got 2/3 of the way through and you're like, I feel amazing. I want to pick up the pace. You guys, trust me. I know how hard it is to stay moderate on a moderate day when you feel amazing. I will tell you, on the other end of that, it is hard to keep pushing. Oh, on a push day. Okay. You are killing this. Doing such a good job. When it beeps again, letter K's. I just realized that I think I've lost count. I think this is our 3rd time, and if it's our 4th time, I apologize. It's kind of a bonus little finisher here if it's not. I'm calling this our 3rd time because I'm apparently not good at counting to 4. I've been thinking about pushing and how good this workout feels, and I don't know. We'll see. Doesn't really matter because we're doing another one anyways. But this next one, I promise, is actually our last round of this. But I will tell you, when it beeps again, we are done. Oh, but we are not finished. This is our last exercise that we have to do 4 rounds of. We're going to walk for that 10 seconds. And then I have a little bit of something even harder than the rest of this push workout. We are doing a finisher. Oh my gosh, 10 seconds of walking. We're doing a finisher of flying fast ups. 1 interval on each side. We're going to have 1 foot on the ground. Hands go up overhead, but we're balancing. So we're tipping forward, bringing your hands to your knee, and then out again. If you can balance the entire time on one leg, that's awesome. Thinking about getting your biceps up next to your ear the entire time when we're in that extended pose. When it beeps, we'll come back to walking. Awesome job. And then we only have 1 more interval. Same thing on the other foot, a little bit more balancing. This is slower moving, but just as tough and possibly tougher because, oh my gosh, oh golly gee, of this balancing work with a high heart rate. Next time it beeps, we are going to go back for 10 more seconds of walking, but it's going to be like cool down walking. It's not going to be like keep your heart rate up walking. Oh my gosh, grunt city over here. Okay, like I said, we're walking just really briefly, like super briefly. And then the next time it beeps, last time it's going to beep. This is like, such a nice quiet end to the finisher. Put your dumbbells down. Turn your timer off. And let's bring that heart rate down. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now that my camera is beeping at me, which means that it probably only has like 1 more minute of battery in it, and I apologize. I would really, really like you to go do the extended cool down on this one. I always have it for you here on screen, but today I'm not gonna do much cool down because I wanna make sure that my camera is still working. So on screen, I have an extended cool down for you. If today wasn't push enough, it was. It totally was. But I'm going to direct you towards something like core work. Not more walking with weights, something core worky, like a standing abs workout. That's going to be super fun on the other side of the screen. Down on the bottom, letter P, invitation to go over to Patreon, where a monthly pledge from you helps me make free workouts for all of us. Let's do some arm openers and arm closers. Give yourself a big hug and a pat on the back because, oh my gosh, what a good job you did today. Make sure on the other side of the screen, it's a picture of me, but it's actually a subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and click that and the bell notification, because that way YouTube will actually let you know every time I upload a new workout, which is like twice a week. But that way YouTube lets you know instead of you just having to figure it out for yourself. You guys, thank you for sweating. What a great job you did today. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.